मैं खाली एक बार चेक भी कर लेता हूँ. Let me just check. Yeah, we are live on CoinX Twitter handle. Let me just check with YouTube. I think we'll wait. I think there's only one watching. That too also us. So 1 second. Yeah, I think we are live. Hello everybody. Welcome to yet another YouTube live by CoinX, and today we are going to be talking about all things, crypto taxes in UK. And along with me, I have our crypto taxation expert Sonu Jain, who is going to be helping you, to answer all your crypto taxes queries with respect to UK. So, Sonu, how are you? It's been long since we have done one of our these lives. Okay. And we all know how difficult it is very difficult for us to get you on this channel. So thanks a lot for joining. And our audience is extremely excited to listen to what you have for crypto taxes in UK. And I think we already have a couple of people that are joining us. So to begin with, right, tell us a bit about the crypto taxation and the sort of regulatory framework that is there in the UK, right? The Indian crypto landscape is a little bit dicey, but we have seen that the UK framework is a pretty bit solid and the rules are very clear. So just to begin with, and someone who and or someone who has just gonna be it's gonna be his first year to file crypto taxes, what are the regulatory affairs that are happening in UK, and what's the state of crypto taxation in UK? So shadow some thoughts, Sonu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ayush. So, as you mentioned, it has been quite a long time since we have done a YouTube live. And
Yes.
happy to announce that, CoinX is now live in UK as well. So, all
Yes.
UK investors can start using CoinX to, comply with the crypto taxation laws there. But again, the major question ultimately is, I am a crypto trader or, I am a DeFi degen. How do I do my taxes? So it is a common question across the world in all the countries. So today, we are focusing on UK. The best part about UK is that the government is actually working towards promoting the Web3 ecosystem and nurturing the ecosystem there. So we had the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak of UK, who has been very vocal about promoting the Web3 industry, giving them a platform where there can be a not only a flexible approach but also something where we don't stifle innovation but rather we promote it in a very well regulated
In the
manner.
right manner.
So not
Correct.
that we are not burdening the industry with excess regulation, at the same time we are also not allowing them to roam around free. So we
Exactly.
are so the government is very collaborative in that approach, and I
Hmm.
think very recently they also set up a Web3 sandbox. So what a sandbox is effectively that for upcoming industries,
Hmm.
so new products can be tested, new products can be launched, and it can be offered to retail users, but in a very mild regulative framework. So the government actually supports you, they work along with you to push the product forward. If there are any legal challenges, they help you overcome it by working with you. So that is the best part about UK. So not something that we see in India, but
Hmm.
UK has been at the forefront of the Web3 regulations.
Yeah.
Now coming to the taxation part, again, UK also leads there as one of the geographies which has elaborative coverage of how crypto taxes works. But again, it is not pretty straightforward if you are a user who uses DeFi, who does a lot of staking, airdrops, or if you are providing liquidity, removing liquidity, borrowing, lending. So if you are a hardcore DeFi degen and you use the blockchain to its fullest, you use all the app services, D apps that are available, then you will find it difficult to decide on how a particular transaction is taxed, or at what rate you will end up paying tax on a particular transaction. So that is what we will cover in this video. So hopefully you will take users will have something to take away from here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, from your expertise on the taxation side for the UK audience would be very helpful. And I think a lot of people, if most of you who don't follow us on Twitter, there have been a lot of comments that we need to push this YouTube, we need to push some video content on YouTube as well, so that users understand more about the crypto taxation and laws in the United Kingdom. So just to begin with, Sonu, we'll quickly talk about the capital gains. I think that's the most important thing for all traders who are trading in UK. That what's the sort of taxing rules are we looking on the crypto gains, for a trader who is trading, and if he makes some profit, what are the capital gain taxes that applies to him? So please tell us.
Right. So Ayush, before jumping right into, how the capital gains taxation would work, or, how much taxes a trader may end up paying.
Hmm.
So at the very first, a trader needs to understand on what amount of profit he has to pay taxes.
Got it.
Right. Now, when I talk about how much profit I have made, so it is in a specified period. So because each country has its own tax year. So similarly, if you are based out of UK, and then the HMRC says that the financial year begins on 6th of April and ends on 5th of April of the next year. So currently, when you are required to file your taxes by 31st of Jan of the
Jan,
next
yeah.
year. If I were to put numbers to all of this, because otherwise it will be very confusing. So for the financial year starting 6th of June 2022 till
Hmm.
5th of June, I'm sorry, from 6th of April 2022 to 5th
Hmm.
of April 2023, that is the tax year for UK. You will pay your taxes and file your tax return by 31st of Jan 2024,
Understood.
right? So for the finance, so we, for simple understanding, we can call it as financial year 2022-23, the tax return for which will be filed on 31st of Jan 2024. So
Hmm.
that is the year for which you have to consider as to how much profits you have made, and then we will determine how much tax you are liable to pay. So again, in the taxation, it is divided into two, different parts based on the types of transaction, which we will cover later on. But
Hmm.
to answer your question as to if I am a trader and I end up making gains, so
Gains,
how
yeah.
do I pay taxes on that? So at the very first instance, you will have a capital gains. So
Hmm.
there are few traders who may want to classify it as a business income, but then for business income, there is a separate set of elaborative requirements which has to be satisfied, and it is only in exceptional cases that HMRC would allow you to classify your trading as a business income. But
Yes.
for most of the traders, it is going to be capital gains.
Hmm.
And if you have capital gains, then you will pay taxes at the rate of 10% or 20%, depending on the amount of gain. So if your gains are up to 50,270 pounds, then you pay 10%. Anything over and above that, you will pay 20%.
Hmm.
Now, another benefit you have is you have something called as the capital gains tax allowance, which
Okay.
says that if you earn gains, irrespective of the amount, you will get a standard deduction from that. So
Okay.
currently, the capital gains allowance is of 12,300 pounds for the financial year 22-23. From next year onwards, it is going to be brought down to $6,000 for 23-24, and then similarly for 24-25, it is going to further reduce to 3,000 pounds. So this is something that traders have to be aware that over the
Yeah.
period of years, the tax allowance is going to go down, which means you will end up paying more tax.
Paying more
Now,
tax.
how this capital gains allowance works is very simple. So currently, like I mentioned, for the financial year 22-23, the capital gains allowance is 12,300 pounds. So this effectively means that if I have gains from my crypto trading worth 12,300 pounds, I don't pay any capital gains tax. So my
Hmm.
tax is zero. But if let's say I have 15,000 pounds worth of gains, so my taxable profit will be 15,000 pounds minus the capital gains allowance of 12,300 pounds. So this is something that traders need to be aware of, that you
Hmm.
get a capital gain tax allowance. So that can reduce your taxes to a major extent.
Major extent, absolutely. Great explanation there, Sonu. I quickly want to, I had a lot of comments on Coinex official Twitter handle that can we escape taxes, is there any way where we trade, we make money, but we don't have end up paying taxes. Is there a way out or not? And this is for all the traders. With the advancements in technology, we have definitely seen a lot of tracking also going on, with respect to your crypto investments. So uh, let us know, Sonu, can the taxation body, that is the HMRC of UK, can they actually track crypto? Can the Britons, can the people of UK escape crypto taxes? And show the process on how the HMRC tracks crypto, and how you will be forced, not if in this year but for the next year, to pay the crypto taxes that are there for UK. So yeah.
Right. So HMRC, or for that matter, any tax authority across the world, they have tools at their disposal to identify and track evaders. Now, the very beauty of blockchain is its transparency. At the same time, that is also something that can go against tax evaders, because once your identity is tagged to a particular wallet, the wallet is no longer anonymous. It gets doxed, and then the tax authority is going to give you a very long bill on that. So the very first point is you cannot evade taxes, even if
Mhm.
you manage to, for a period of time. So it is not that you will evade it forever, because at some point regulations are going to come in, and then all the wallets are going to get doxed at some point of time. Now the second part is, what if I'm trading on exchanges, centralized exchanges? So again, if you're trading on centralized exchange, then there is no point of you trying to evade taxes, because if you are trading on localized exchanges, they will anyway start sharing data with the tax authorities. And if you're trading on global exchanges, there are regulations being worked out to ensure data sharing between all the countries whose investors are trading on a particular platform. So again, it is also just a matter of time before investors start receiving notices for the trading which they have done and which they have not declared. It is also important to note that in the last month, in the month of November, HMRC had also put out a post that if you have evaded tax, we are
Mhm.
giving you an opportunity that you can come forward and declare it. Now, how based on with how much amount of trust, and with how much amount of openness you are going to declare all your taxes, that is also going to determine how much penalty they will levy. So if you chose to ignore this, and you treat it as I will not pay unless they find out, then the penalties can go up to 100% or beyond also. So that is again a point that has to be considered. But the HMRC is all out. They are looking out for the crypto investors, because just to highlight a data point from their report, they say that 55 to 95% of crypto investors don't comply with tax laws.
Okay, that's quite a huge number, Sonu.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why they have set up a specific team which is going to be dealing with crypto assets and its reporting, to ensure that there is the right amount of tax collection. That is why investors now need to be aware of their tax obligations, and you need to start planning, because tax is a cost which only increases the more you delay it. So it is better to stay compliant.
Understood. Great. Coming on to our previous question, you previously told about something on the allowances which can can be decreased over a period of time, right? Now I want to quickly get in on the tax-free allowances that would be there for the people in the UK, right? The crypto tax-free allowances on capital gains as well. So could you highlight some of those in this live video for our users to understand on in any way they can save or reduce taxes? So no.
Right, Ayush. So one of the most common methods I've told you is to make use of the capital gains tax allowance.
Correct.
Now the best part is that the tax allowance is based on your net capital gains. So
Hmm.
you have 100 pounds of profit, and then you have 50 pounds of losses. So your net taxable profit is only 50 pounds,
Yeah.
which is 100 minus 50. Now, similarly, if you are having capital gains in excess of 12,300 pounds, only then
Okay.
you are liable to pay taxes. So
Okay.
if you are a small investor or a medium investor who has, a smaller portion of profits, you can optimize this by, strategically selling it within a period of time to, take benefit of the capital gains tax allowance. At the same time, you also need to be aware of the cost basis and its impact, to ensure that, you don't fall under the same day rule or the 30-day rule.
30-day rule.
Now the second point is, what if you're receiving crypto as salary, or you have some staking income? Now these are not generally covered under the tax, the capital gains tax. These are covered under the income tax rates, which are going to be taxed as per the income tax slabs that we have.
Hmm.
Now again, there you have a personal tax allowance of approximately 12,570 pounds. So if you have income up to 12,570 pounds, you don't pay any tax on that.
Hmm.
If it exceeds that, then you end up paying between 20 to 45% depending on the income. But in any case, if your income is up to 1,50,000 pounds, which is
Hmm.
150,000 pounds, you will get the benefit of the personal tax allowance of 12,570 pounds, and you will be able to claim that. If
Claim.
your income is in excess of 150,000 pounds in a year, then you will not get the personal tax allowance of 12,570 pounds. So this is also something that needs to be considered.
That needs to. I hope that all the people that are watching are carefully taking notes, because what is being shared by Sonu is actually gold. And this actually gets, anyone, if you go to any other platform, if you go to any other a website that deals with crypto taxation, they would charge it. But for this, we are completely keeping these education lives completely for free for our for our global community. Sonu, I want to quickly, since we already talked about capital gains on profits. Now I want to even talk about losses. I'm very sure that 2023, and the year was quite dicey for crypto. We have seen a lot of ups and downs, and we've seen a lot of traders have even lost money, and some have gained some fantastic results. We want to dive in. If a trader has made a loss, how is their tax structure going to be, right? Do they still have to pay taxes, or they can completely set off their losses? What's the whole scenario? Throw us some light on that, please.
Right, so when we talk about crypto losses, so first thing is UK allows you to completely set off your losses with your profits.
Wow,
And
that's
even
great.
after that, if you have some losses, you can carry it forward indefinitely. So
Hmm.
you can carry it forward to a number of future years and set it off whenever you have a profit in the future. Now
Hmm.
to do this, you will obviously have to intimate the HMRC that you have a loss which you wish to carry forward.
Hmm.
Once you do that, you will be all good. So the first thing is, when you file your taxes, you can obviously set off all the losses. Even after setting off the losses, if you still have a negative capital gains, you can carry it forward to future years.
Got it. Awesome. Coming on to the point where we talked about the capital gains on profits, capital gains on losses from trading in crypto. Now, could we highlight some of the methods which we can use to calculate these capital gains and losses, as rightly mentioned? So what could be some of the methods or the efforts needed which can be used to calculate these for a normal trader? Of course, there is our accounting platform, as taxing and accounting platform Coinex, which definitely helps you integrate with all your UK exchanges and gets to know. But if a normal trader who just trades like, or trades one Bitcoin and just holds it for a longer period of time, what could be the certain amount of methods that he could use?
Right. So again, in terms of allowing users the flexibility to compute their taxes in different ways is something that the UK lacks. So UK has a specific method for computing crypto taxes, and that is called the Section 104 pool method.
Okay.
Now, in this, what happens is that investor needs to compute his profit or losses based on a three-step approach. First is the same day rule, which says that if you sold something and you buy it back on the same day, then those will be treated as one trade, and you calculate the profit and loss for those trades together. The
Okay.
second one, which comes, is the 30-day rule, which says that if you sell any asset today and you buy it back within the next 30 days, then those two will be treated as one trade, and you calculate the profit and loss on those trades. Now, if you buy an asset, you don't sell it on same day, you don't sell it in the next 30 days, but you sell it after a period of more than 30 days.
Hmm.
Then that asset is going to go into a pool called a Section 104 pool, where you're going to use the average cost basis method to arrive at the cost for those assets. So
Okay.
in future, when you sell those assets, you will compute it as per the average cost that you have arrived at. So similarly, you need to do for all the assets that you hold. Each asset will have its own Section 104 pool, and you compute the taxes based on this three-step approach.
Understood. Understood. That's a very fair explanation, Sonu. I'm very sure the audience would be taking notes. We talked about certain sections. We talk about, the rates that apply to, people that trade in crypto. We talked about, capital gains on, capital gains on profits made from crypto, and even losses. Now I want to specifically highlight, on any losses that have been made in crypto. We haven't talked about how capital gains works on losses, right? Could you give a highlight on that as well, Sonu?
So I think Ayush, we have covered, capital gains on losses. So
Yes.
traders can, set off their losses without any restrictions. And if
Hmm.
there is still a net loss, it can be carry forward indefinitely.
Awesome, got it. Yeah. Any other income tax considerations that could be applied to the people that are trading in crypto apart from the regular rules that are there? I'm very sure that there might be income tax rules also that might be applied on taxation frameworks in UK. Could you throw us some light on that as well?
Right, Ayush. So again, if you are a trader and you are only trading in crypto asset without doing any other crypto activity, then you will fall under the capital gains tax. So no questions there. But if you are a trader who also likes staking their assets and earning some yield from that, or you like to do lending and borrowing of assets, or you
Hmm.
want to provide liquidity somewhere. So again, the taxation differs for all of this. But broadly, if you receive any income, so it may be staking income, or you're receiving any funding fees for that matter, where it is a profitable position, or you are also receiving salary, or you are receiving some consultancy income, or if you're a miner and you're receiving mining rewards, in all
Hmm.
of these cases, you will not pay capital gains tax. Instead, you will pay the income tax rate
Income
as per
tax.
the slabs that are applicable. Again, there you get personal tax allowance of 12,570 pounds. Over and above that, you will also get $1,000 allowance for it is a standard allowance which everyone receives.
Hmm.
Apart from that, one thing you need to consider is you will be paying taxes as per the slabs. So the higher the income, the higher is going to be your tax there.
The slab.
So the
Yes.
tax rate starts at 20% from 12,570 pounds, and then it goes all the way up to 45% also.
Understood. Understood. Great. I think we already have spoken about any instances where crypto can be tax free, right? And you have highly mentioned about certain parameters where crypto can be tax free, right? I specifically want to dive in on crypto tax breaks. Could you highlight? In fact, I also don't know what are crypto tax breaks, and could you show us some light on how those are applied to in the UK regulation and taxation framework for crypto, and how could this be potentially benefit the traders that are trading in crypto in UK?
Right. So tax breaks are basically, the allowances that we covered previously, the 12,300 pound allowance for capital gains,
Okay.
and the 12,570 pounds allowance
Hmm.
for the, the personal income tax rates.
Hmm.
So again, if you smartly, if a trader is smart enough, he is going to maximize both of these allowance, and, ensure that he is tax free for an income of up to 24,000 pounds, which should be, a great thing considering you have 12,300 and 12,570. So a trader should be able to maximize those.
Maximize those, and like you have said that this would reduce in the upcoming years as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So from the financial year 23-24, the
Hmm.
capital gains tax allowance is going to reduce to 6,000 from the current 12,300.
Hmm.
And for 24-25, it is going to be 3,000 pounds.
Awesome. Great. So I am all up with my questions, and I think this is a very good, or you can say, Sonu, intro live for all the people who just want to get started, with their crypto taxation in UK. We will be having, a parallel series in the upcoming weeks, where we're going to be discussing or diving deep into more details on, crypto taxes on staking, mining, income from crypto, etc., etc. And if you fall under those brackets, feel free to watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Before going to that, do check out our platform coinex.com. The link will be given below in the description. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining this live, Sonu. I quickly want to dive, since this was a very first live for UK. Any closing thoughts or any remarks that you want to highlight and share, for the audience that have been watching this?
Right. So I think, Ayush, one of the major point will be, what the HMRC has told. So the HMRC basically knows that 55 to 95% of the traders are not reporting their taxes. And specifically to cover those traders, they have also set up a team of, crypto experts to identify such traders and bring them under the tax net. So it is, still not late to come clean and declare all the undeclared profits of the previous years, and that should be the first plan of action for all the investors who are watching this video.
Got it.
And if you have
Great.
complied, you are one of the most loud taxpayer of the HMRC, whom they would be very happy that you are a compliant taxpayer.
Awesome. Lovely. Thanks again, everyone, for joining this live. Before going, this is specifically for the Indian audience. There is a 70% off, price that we are running right now on our CoinX platform, and this is specifically for the Indian audience. So if you're going to quickly gonna take up, these prices and grab these prices at a very discounted rate, then the link is given below in the description. Go ahead and check it out. Use the CoinX platform for all things crypto taxation, for your portfolio tracking and for accounting purposes. So thanks a lot. I think we have uh, some of the things that will be upcoming in our live sessions as well. So do check it out, where we are going to be discussing and diving more deep into the tax frameworks for UK and other countries as well. So thanks a lot again for joining this live, and we look forward for seeing you in the next session. Thanks again, Sonu, for joining this live, and we shall look forward for the next live.
Yes, absolutely, Ayush. Looking forward to it. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.